Welcome to Wisconsin DNR's Wild Wisconsin Off the Record podcast. Information straight from the source.
Welcome back to Wild Wisconsin Off the Record. We've been on hiatus working behind the scenes to bring you fresh, new content. We've also made some changes like shorter episodes and a new host like me, Katie Grant, your DNR digital media coordinator. But what we didn't change was finding you inside voices on Wisconsin's outdoors. There's a little something here for everyone, so turn up the dial and listen in. So we're headed into Memorial Day weekend and the unofficial start of summer. And there's really no better time to talk about all of the fantastic opportunities to get outdoors in Wisconsin. So we're here today with Secretary-Designee of the DNR, Preston Cole. Hello.
Hello.
Secretary-Designee of the Department of Tourism, Sarah Meany.
Hello.
And Director of the Wisconsin State Park System, Ben Berge.
Good afternoon.
So glad to have you guys here. Why don't we kind of just go around the table and say hello again and tell us a little bit about yourselves and what it is that you do.
Sure, I'll start. I'm Ben Berge, the Director of the State Parks, and I get the good fortune of serving millions of guests every year at some of Wisconsin's premier recreation destinations and working with some great partners and communities. So feel real fortunate to be in that role, and we're really looking forward to summer.
Fantastic.
I guess I'm up next. I'm Sarah Meany, and I'm the Secretary-Designee of the Department of Tourism. I have been told by many, and I tend to agree, that I have the best job in state government. I get to tell everyone about what is so fantastic about the state of Wisconsin. Most people who've been here do exactly what you're doing, which is nodding your heads. Those who have not been here is really where our work is cut out for us. Convincing people of how fantastic Wisconsin is a great job, but definitely we have work ahead of us.
And I'm Preston Cole, your Secretary-Designee for the Department of Natural Resources. I'm a trained professional natural resource manager. I've spent 12 years on the Department of Natural Resources board, so I'm not unfamiliar with the department. And I, too, have the best job known to mankind.
Second best
Are we going to have a little fight here over who's the best?
I will leave it to Sarah to say that she has the best, because what we're able to do is provide her with what has to be sold to the public, and we think we have a great.
You're right.
We have a great product,
and
Absolutely.
I think our work together is pretty much what makes it great.
We are the ebony and ivory of outdoor recreation.
We'll let you figure out who's which.
So why is Wisconsin so special in summer, Secretary Cole?
Well, quite frankly, the state of Wisconsin has made a significant investment in parks, state forests, outdoor natural areas, wildlife areas, our scenic ways, investments in stocking fish in our big lakes, our rivers, and that resource provides a wonderful opportunity. So for those who live here, we get the importance of outdoor recreation, and we get the importance of making the requisite funding strategy to promote outdoor recreation. That's what makes Wisconsin, heads over heels of other states. We recognize that it costs money to do this. The folks that provide those dollars, our citizens, understand there's a big economy, a $20 billion economy associated with this. Right. And we're blessed to have them behind us to put this product out on the street, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Did he miss anything?
Well, I don't know about you, Ben, but I would say that the parks, the state parks, the rivers, the waterways are a huge piece of what draws people to Wisconsin and across the state from within Wisconsin. But outdoor recreation, as Secretary Cole was saying, is a significant majority of the total tourism economy within the state of Wisconsin. And without it, we would be risking jobs. We would be risking a lot of dollars in the pockets of small business owners and communities. So we know that not only is it great and it ranks incredibly well in terms of quality within our competitive set in the Midwest, but it's also a way of life. It's what those of us who are from here grew up doing and love doing. And if you didn't grow up going to summer camp, you kind of seek it later in life anyway. So this is what we love to do, and what it makes it easier for me to do the job of telling the story of Wisconsin.
Great point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
I always like to add, I think Wisconsinites and those that visit our state really identify, instead of winter, summer, fall, spring. It's the next season here in Wisconsin. So if it's summer, it's fishing. It's getting out kayaking and paddleboarding. In the fall, we have people get out and hunt. In the winter, skiing, snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, fat bikes now all over. And in the spring, we have folks that get out and make maple syrup in this state. And right now, we're in the morel picking season, and we're getting into berry picking in the summer. And this state is so diverse in terms of what we offer from the resource perspective that it is, as has been mentioned earlier here, it is a real draw for folks, and it's a unique in the Midwest.
Yeah. So while we're on that topic, are there any super unique, like crazy out there activities that people should know about in Wisconsin?
Sure. So very unique opportunities. The first one that comes to mind is here in the south, and an opportunity at Tower Hill State Park to watch shot get made. So there was a tower built back in the early 1800s where shot was actually produced, and you can go there if you are in the southwest part of the state. Just north of Dodgeville, you can actually, a few times a year, that is in operation again and used just as it was. And there's not too many places you can see shot made where it's dropped, it cools and then enters into water, and then taken back up in size in the appropriate size, so very unique. Island properties here, Rock Island State Park. You have to take a ferry to an island, another ferry to another island just to get to Rock Island State Park. So I always say it's the adventure of getting there that makes, the adventure getting there is half the fun. And then in the far north again, with the Apostle Islands, our partners in the National Park Service, but we also have a state park on one of those islands. So those really unique, hard to get to places, or otherwise kind of off the beaten path, are what people draw to today. And we all know people are seeking adventure and experience. And so those are what really we see people being drawn to today.
Well, I, for one, and the timing of this particular meeting and conversation is interesting. I'm headed to the Great River Road for the rest of this week and into the weekend to experience the incredibly beautiful and scenic western part of the state. And there are state parks in that area, but frankly, it's one of the most scenic drives that you can find anywhere, overlooking the Mississippi River, and some incredible towns and small businesses and wineries and cideries and cheese shops that you could ever imagine. So I'm looking forward to experiencing that both in my job and as a tourist in that part of the state.
Can you think of anything?
Morel mushrooms.
Morels. It is morel
Yep.
season.
And ramps. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
familiar with
Yes.
ramps, so I have ramps now. And so I go with a buddy, and we go looking for morel mushrooms. And we have a very secret spot.
I won't.
so-
I won't make you tell us where that
Yes.
secret spot is.
Yes, it is. It's, again, with pasta and, of course, steaks and those kinds of things. It is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. But it's also that quiet time.
What
that you
time's
can-
dinner?
You're always invited.
Thank you.
It's also that silent type of activity. You're walking, you see the squirrels running around, the dogs with us, and those types of things. And so it's a blast from that perspective, that it is a quiet time
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So speaking of quiet time, Secretary Cole, rumor has it that you like being out on the water
I do.
and that you really like to fish. And I think there's something about the Brule River State Forest.
Yes. Now, I do like to fish, although I got skunked at the fishing opener.
Oh, you didn't catch anything?
No,
Secretary
Sarah,
Cole?
no,
Did
Sarah,
you?
I did not. What did you catch?
I actually did catch a couple of walleye. Thanks for asking. I'm sorry, you were saying?
She is such an outdoor woman. Oh my God. And so I'm glad you were lucky. So the mighty Brule, having been on that water twice, it is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. So for folks who don't know the Brule, it's 44 miles of what I call world-class fishing, but also world-class floating. You wouldn't know you were in Wisconsin. However, you are in the great state of Wisconsin. These are the kinds of things that we value. These are the kinds of places that it harkens back to when we were young. And I think Ben spoke to that, and Sarah as well, in terms of how you grew up around outdoor recreation. So there's always this longing for these families to get back together for pivotal times of graduations, or that summer on that body of water, or that relationship that was codified, a marriage or a birth of a child, or those kinds of things. And so Wisconsin offers these places where we can reconnect with ourselves and our families, but also connect with the land. And I find that, for me, the Brule River.
Very cool.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Yeah,
Gotta
it's
go.
definitely on my list of places to check out after all that I've heard. So, staying on that same topic of fishing, we draw a lot of people from outside of the state in for fishing. Something like 300,000 license holders who live out of state come here to fish.
Second only to Florida. And I've asked the governor to annex Florida because of that. They don't have to be out of state. They can be in state. They can be right here.
I like that.
Let's call it like Wisconsin South.
I like that.
I like that
I like
too.
that. What's the draw about fishing in Wisconsin?
World-class fishery. Plain and simple. We provide lake opportunities. Of course, we have the land of 15,000 lakes, and there's others who boast about 10,000. However, we win that hands down. 84,000 miles of scenic rivers and tributaries. And again, the Department of Natural Resources, through our fisheries biologists, our wildlife managers, protect and preserve these. So we pay very close attention to the fisheries around the great state of Wisconsin.
Anything to add?
You know, I just add, growing up in the state and fishing, we have such, again, back to the diverse resource we have here. How many states have the miles of inland streams, the lakes, and then throw in the Great Lakes, and the big water fishing. It's something that my family, it's a tradition I started with my family, and we've done a long time now, and living down here, fishing Lake Michigan, and now up in the Apostle Islands, Lake Superior. It was such a diverse amount. I think that's really the draw here. It's not just us. We have streams, we have lakes, and we have the Great Lakes. Amazing resource.
Well, one thing that we can't forget, so while the fish and the fishing experience may draw them here, they stay for the people and the towns and the places to stay and the food and the microbreweries. So what Wisconsin actually offers is the full package when it comes to whether it's fishing in the summer or ice fishing in the winter, whether it's outdoor recreation in the summer or the winter or any of the 4 seasons. We have a lot to offer in terms of culture and experiences. So it is a full package, and we should never overlook how those things work in partnership. One feeds the other, and those happy, healthy, fun communities are really what sets Wisconsin apart when it comes to choosing whether it's a fishing destination or just a place to relax and rest and make memories with your family.
Right.
We think tourism has one of the best websites, and if I remember, there is a gentleman who is getting handed a Bloody Mary with a full chicken on it.
Yes.
I want to go there.
Yes, well, that is a very well-known spot in the Milwaukee area that has an outrageous Bloody Mary, competitively outrageous Bloody Mary on offer, and that one itself can probably feed about 5 people. But yeah, he's a great example of a multi-sport athlete. He's actually a Paralympic gold medal winner, and he's a great example. He also kayaks on the Milwaukee River in the Milwaukee area and plays wheelchair basketball.
Yeah.
And enjoys Bloody Marys,
deadly.
like the rest of us.
Does he enjoy the Bloody Marys outside on a porch somewhere?
Yes,
Deck.
absolutely. Yeah, and it's a great example too of what a great draw all of our waterways are, whether it's a small town or an urban center. People can enjoy outdoor recreation, whatever way works best for them.
Yeah, for sure. So while we're on the topic of tourism, how can we help support tourism in Wisconsin with, all of the great natural resources that we have and through outdoor recreation?
That's a great question. So obviously the partnership that Secretary Cole and I talk about on a regular basis is an important piece of that because our work feeds each other. It supports one another, and it actually sustains an incredible number of jobs. Our new numbers just came out for 2018 tourism in the state, and nearly 200,000 jobs are sustained by tourism in the state of Wisconsin.
We should ring the cowbell if we had one.
Yeah, exactly. We always need more cowbell, right? And $21.6 billion in economic impact around the state. But what it comes down to is the relationship between outdoor recreation and tourism in the state of Wisconsin is inextricable. Is that a word? You can't pull them
It
apart.
is now.
Yes.
If it wasn't
You
before,
can't
it is now.
extricate them from one another because that is truly the baseline story of the experience in Wisconsin. Now, that's not to say that is the only thing people do in the state of Wisconsin. It may be, and our data tells us it is the number one reported reason, outdoor recreation is the number one reported reason people come to Wisconsin as a visitor. But they spend their dollars in a lot of different places. Agritourism, which of course is directly connected to the land, and DNR and healthy waterways and healthy plants and animals. So a lot of folks come for the Wisconsin farm experience, which is directly related to their outdoor experience and their food experience, and just a good way of living.
Yeah. For sure. So Ben, when it comes to state parks, we've kind of touched on this, but what do we have in terms of state parks that no other state has?
Sure. So we're very unique here, as we've been mentioning. And first off, we have the best visitors of any state. I'm a little biased, but we have great visitors in the state. Our citizens and the folks that visit us for these reasons visit these communities, and they take in some part of their trip is the outdoor experience. We have the very best visitors. We have some of the best communities, obviously, anywhere in the country. Sarah was just mentioning how folks, and we partner with one another and create these experiences. And it's not just the restaurant, it's not just the hiking trail, it's not just the microbrewer, a ball game maybe afterward. It's all of that together. And so Wisconsinites work well together. So that's one thing we have that I think we're all very proud of. But in terms of our system, we have the first rail trail in the United States, and that's the Elroy-Sparta State Trail. So first trail, we have more miles of rail bank trail than any other state. So we know trails are very popular today, both from a silent sports, hiking, biking, and then our motorized recreation too, snowmobiling, ATV, and et cetera. I think what's really unique here too is our history here. You touched on culture. We have significant cultural influence into our outdoor spaces here in Wisconsin. And you just look back to even the formation of a formalized recreation here. We have the first designated state natural area program in the country. Parfrey's Glen was the first one done. And then you look at the influence of John Muir, John Nolan, and Alda Leopold. What state can say they have those three folks influential in the creation? Nolan put together the first project for state parks. And so I think that in itself really speaks to the heritage and foundation which we draw upon today.
Yeah.
So.
There's a fun little tidbit too about the Wisconsin state parks that no other state park system has yet today, although people are trying to mimic it. We have 50 selfie stands.
Yes.
Oh,
yes, we do.
Selfie
that-
stands are fantastic.
Yes. So what we've seen
Yes.
is people absolutely love to
Yes,
seek
they
out
do.
and find the selfie stand
And
within the park.
I've shared that
Yeah.
nationally, so I know you're getting contacted from Iowa.
We
so.
have been. We've gotten
Yes, you
calls
have.
from multiple
Yep,
states,
yep.
and I have to give credit to the Department of Tourism. Prior to my time, to come up with that really innovative idea that a lot of other states have wanted to kind of riff off of. And obviously, it's a sign of the times. People want to go and experience things, but if you didn't Instagram it, it apparently didn't happen. So what people want to do is have an opportunity to have a photo up with their friends and family, and really document that memory in a scenic, amazing place. But also
Absolutely.
tie it directly to Wisconsin. So when you're checking out the state parks around Wisconsin, definitely seek out those selfie stands and snap a photo of yourself.
And use the hashtags and tag both tourism and DNR.
Yeah.
I like to say you could become a DNR or tourism celebrity
Yeah.
and be featured on our Instagram.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
And those hashtags are
Ooh.
the DNR hashtag. So ours is travel WI.
Yeah.
Hashtag travel WI.
For DNR, it is hashtag out we go.
Right.
So yeah.
That's WI.
Yes.
Out we go.
Out
We.
WI
We.
go.
Right.
We
Right.
go.
Out
In a
we go.
future episode,
Yes.
listeners will actually hear kind of the story behind that. So
love
stay
that.
tuned for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
And a little
Yeah.
tease on where that comes
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, it's
Little
sort of a
teaser.
cliffhanger.
Yeah. So there's a saying in Texas where they say, keep Austin weird. But in Wisconsin, we have a festival for everything, and some of them get pretty weird. There's the world's largest Brat Fest, but also one of my favorites in name alone is Beefarama. So, Secretary Meany, can you talk about some of those unique festivals and maybe what some of your favorites are?
I would be happy to. So We actually did a little homework before this podcast because
Smart.
figuring out just exactly how many festivals Wisconsin has is sort of like saying how many stars in the sky.
Yeah.
So over 11,000 festivals on a regular basis.
Wow.
And for basically anything you can think of. So whether it's music related, Summerfest is the largest music festival in the world, where so many people are aware of that. But outside the Midwest, a lot of folks aren't. Of course, Beeforama, Bacon Fest are some of our favorite. There's a Bloody Mary Festival in most towns, frankly.
Yes.
There's Cranberry Festival, of course, in Warrens, and that actually is the star of this season's television advertising campaign, starring the one and only Donald Driver as well, which took place and was shot at the Cranberry Festival in Warrens, and it really does tell the story of what it feels like to be in any town in Wisconsin on any given weekend when we are celebrating God knows what. I do love Strawberry Festival because I can't think of a single food that isn't better with a strawberry on top, and that takes place in Cedarburg, Wisconsin, sort of northwest of Milwaukee area. But frankly, if you like hanging out with a whole lot of people outside and celebrating with music, something to drink, and a reason to party, Wisconsin is the place to be. And it's not limited only to summertime. We have festivals throughout the year, all 4 seasons, and that kind of helps explain why we see a much steadier visitor rate across all 4 seasons than our neighboring states to the east and west. They would dream of having more consistent visitation throughout the year. But yeah, we see only about a 3% swing from low to high season when it comes to visitors to the state.
Yeah, I really do think you could pick any weekend and throw a dart on a map and find a festival within probably 20 miles of wherever you happen to throw the dart.
We do church festivals around here like nobody's business.
Right. Well, and there's
St.
no reason not
Gregory's,
to.
I'm all in. My mother would appreciate me going to church and drinking at the same time. But the music, the collaboration, I mean, and they're raising money for a good cause, of course, for their parish. But in Wisconsin, we do church festivals like no other. I mean, we should be proud of that.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of festivals actually serve to raise funds for whatever given beneficiary, but also whatever topic there is.
Yeah.
But because this is the subject of our campaign going into the summer and fall season, TravelWisconsin.com is a place to go to find where all of those festivals will be.
Yeah.
And most likely you will be targeted in social media or online with a digital ad based on things that you have expressed of interest over time. So
Did you say TravelWisconsin.com?
Correct. .com. TravelWisconsin.
Got it.
.com.
I just want to be clear.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so real talk. Summer traditions with your families.
Peninsula State Park, bike riding.
That's a good one.
Yeah. My family has gone to Door County any season of the year most of my young life. But new traditions with my own family of 4 kids. We are heading up to the Tomahawk area and going water skiing and boating and fishing again. But frankly, we like checking out new stuff all the time. So if it's near water, you're likely to see this family right out near it.
You know, the 4 kids, I'm going to keep that theme going here because I also have 4 kids. But early on in my life, it was camping. All the state parks we toured. I think we hit almost all of them. But now with 4 kids, I stay a little closer to home. And now that tradition is the Apostle Islands. So if my wife and I line up on the same days together, home off, it's out on a boat, out on the kayaks. We actually put the kayaks and the paddleboard on the boat, and we go out to the different islands. We swim, snorkel, and my kids love the beach, right? And so it's hitting the beach with the kids on the weekends.
Yeah.
We try to find just about any beach along the Lake Michigan
Michigan.
shoreline.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I mean, we live in Milwaukee, and we can walk to the beach from our house. But going to any of the state parks as well. I mean, I think one of my favorite state parks, just because I have so many memories there, is Whitefish Sand Dunes.
Oh yes.
Where you can be standing there and say, "Is this really in Wisconsin?"
right.
And it really is. And there's so much in Wisconsin that is
Right.
like that. That's just
Right.
kind of awe-inspiring.
Oh yeah. You drive by 3 really great state facilities getting up there: Harrington Beach,
Yes, Harrington
Kohler,
Beach.
and then Point Beach State Forest. I'm sure
Yep.
Point Beach is absolutely amazing. Wow, those beach properties along Lake Michigan are amazing.
The hours spent in not so warm Lake Michigan. Swimming all day long as a kid, for sure. Yeah.
All right, so last question before we kind of wrap things up here. What does summer in Wisconsin mean to you? And we're going to start this way and go the other way.
You know, I'm going to say one word, and that's fun. I heard it earlier from Sarah mentioned this. We're all in the memory-making business. That's what this is about. It's about people being outside together, making memories. And I think that's all something we all very much enjoy. And we've had those memories, obviously, and we're trying to share those with other people. And to me, that's fun. Watching other people get outdoors, build those memories with their family and friends, carry those forward, share them with new people. To me, that's exciting and fun. And that's what summer means to me here in Wisconsin. It's about people being outside and having fun.
I would agree. I think the word that comes to mind is freedom, because I think we who choose to live in Wisconsin and live in the four seasons and what it brings for us, it gives us the freedom to do anything we want to do outside without limitation. And I think, my kids love that. They can go a little further and go get an ice cream cone and walk there on their own. And there's just a sense of sort of freedom and hope that comes along with summertime. And then the other word would be camp. And forever, summer in Wisconsin will make me think of, days spent at summer camp and making friends and building fires and roasting marshmallows. So camp and freedom.
I'd say menu of options. You have all the options before you for outdoor recreation, certainly in the summer, whether it's a quiet walk or a motorized sport. And we know that these are places where folks like Olmsted knew that we have to reconnect with the land and reconnect and take it down a notch, and from the modern day work and raising a family and all the challenges that has. So the menu of options on any given day, you're within a half mile of a state park or a county park or U.S. Forest Service property or our partners at the county forest. They got 1.4 million acres. And so if you're staying at one of our state parks and you want to go see what's going on at the county level, you'll have that option. And you want to see what's going on at the federal level, you have that option. So you have a myriad of options before you. We just need you to get here and hurry up.
Anything else that we should know about summer in Wisconsin, or that you want us to know about summer in Wisconsin?
Oh my gosh, if you haven't ever experienced it, you're missing out. I think there's a lot of folks around the country to whom summer is our winter, frankly. It's too hot, it's too muggy, it's too sweaty to be outside. It's days spent in the air conditioning and going from car to store to car to back home. And we in Wisconsin see that as the time where every minute spent outside is a gift.
It's a reward for surviving.
You don't need, you don't need another argument to be able to spend another day outside in the sun or in the shade and exploring all those things that we have to offer. So I would suggest to the folks in the hotter, sweatier parts of the country that if they haven't been to Wisconsin in the summertime, they can redefine summer altogether.
Yeah.
Right. And the unique thing about Wisconsin is you can find a place that's cooler. So whether it's get next to Lake Michigan or
jump in the water.
Jump in the water, for sure. My only thing is for folks that, Sarah mentioned, people that haven't been here to come here, and people that have come here, try something new, explore something new. Reach out of what you're maybe accustomed to, experience a new community, a new park, maybe the state forest in the north, the national forest, but try something new. We have so much to offer that you don't know what you're going to find.
Yeah.
So
One of the things that I spoke with, just in closing, other members of the tourism industry around the state, is that while we work every day in helping other people make memories, we too have to tap into our own curiosity about the state. And so I issued a challenge, including to myself, the Wisconsin Curiosity Challenge, which is to say, go someplace that you've never been before inside the state, check it out with fresh eyes, and then send us a postcard from that place. Send it to the Department of Tourism and tell us what was so amazing about that first experience where you kind of reinvigorated your sense of curiosity in the state of Wisconsin. We already have stacks of postcards. So we're excited to see more kind of play out through the entire year. And my Great River Road experience this coming up weekend is my Curiosity Challenge.
I will be participating in that. That's
Please
very
do.
cool.
like that.
Very
Please
cool.
do.
Our doors and our hearts are always open. Come on down.
Simple, straightforward.
Well said.
Well said. Yeah. Well, Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I know just from this conversation, I have more things on my summer to-do list. So I hope everyone listening has some more cool things they would like to do this summer as well.
Wonderful.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.